Well, hello. I feel it like, wow. I feel like it has been a century since I have sat down and gotten to talk about knitting in this format. Hello, I am Che, the other half of your Slip Slip sisters, and I am here to do a major catch up. I don't remember the last time I shared projects, they're probably from early June. Um, and if you've been watching our videos for a while, you know I was in kind of a knitting slump, low key, still kind of am, but I'm getting better at that. But there is so much to share that if I waited to do this on the podcast, it would be the longest podcast in the world, especially because I share with Gabs. But luckily, she's also been sharing a lot, doing Vlogmas in July. And so I just want to walk through all of the projects that I've made, what I currently have, which is actually not that much, thank goodness, and then some of the things that I've acquired over the past month and a half, almost 2 months. So let's jump in. I'm going to be so real. I don't have a lot of the details because it has been so long, but our Ravelry should be pretty updated with a bunch of stuff. So definitely check that out. It's usually linked below. But I think the oldest thing maybe are these socks. So these were my Rings of Renewal socks. This was a Yarnable. I think it was March's Yarnable from this year. And so these are a wonderful pair of DK socks. Finished these, don't even remember when, but usually my standard edition DK approach, size 3 needles, cast on 40 with an afterthought heel. So finished those. I also did what I was calling my summer blue socks. And so these are two fingering colors. No, I think it's the same. Yeah, same fingering yarn, held double. I believe it's called Winter Wonderland. It's LNK, something NK designs. Gabs actually gave me this as an advent swap one year. These are fingering held double to make DK socks. Same recipe as always. Moving right along. I did finish my assignments because I pawned one off on my sister. My assignments for our family Christmas Musselburgh hats. So if you're new, for a while or for this year, we are making Christmas Musselburghs for our family using the Christmas themed yarn that we've gotten from our Uncle Anthony, him included, and who's a recipient of these. And so this is the one that I made for Lenny, who is my sister's youngest daughter. I was in charge of like the younger siblings of the family, except not myself because I kind of crapped out on that. So Gabs is in charge of me, but I made her hat. It's actually a fine size because I can fit it. It's snug, but it works. But we made them big, so then you can use them for longer. So I made the adult small for her, I believe. I cannot remember what my gauge was, to be so real with you again. But this is underneath the aluminum Christmas tree is the colorway. Okay, and now I am missing some socks. I know that they are over here. Oh. So there are a bunch of socks. I know why they're over there. There are a bunch of socks I finished, but I had shown those in other videos that we've done. And so if you haven't seen our Palm Desert vlog or our, Hilton Head vlog, check that out because some of the socks I finished are going to be featured there. So I'm like, why am I short socks? So those are other finished objects during this time. I also finished I think these are maybe a Palm Desert pair of socks. This was from our Southern Skein subscription box, one of my halves of the yarn. Cannot remember its name. So sorry about that, but we did them. Gab split our yarn and we made giant sock tubes, and we were able to split it and then cut in or add in the heels, toes, and cuffs to make our little socks here. All of mine so far are going to be donations. And then we had a bunch of extras from the sock tubes. And so Gabs let me have those because they don't really count as out of stash for her because she's already used the yarn up, but I need them because I'm working on my century. It's not going very good where I want to get 100 skeins out and oh my goodness, and finish 100 objects this year. So using the sock tube is very helpful because it moves these projects along a lot faster. So this is another one of those pairs I did where I used some of my row 1 leftover subscription yarn where I put in these kind of fraternal twin heels, toes, and cuffs. Totally can't remember the name of what yarns I used for these. Hopefully I put them in the project page or I put a picture. I'm so sorry. If you're really curious, let me know and I can try and go scrounge for the labels, but I'm pretty sure those might be in the trash can at my parents' house from a week and a half ago. So I'm so sorry. Not the most organized here with this, but it's done. And we're just going to count that as a win. And then I have one more pair of socks that is fresh off the needles from like 2 days ago. This was another pair of DK socks I was working on. I made them kind of small, so I think these might be for our grandma. These were what I was calling my cheese socks because the colorway is Life is Gouda from Hypnotic Yarn, and I put it in my cheese bag, and I had a Swiss cheese beginning of round marker on them. So DK pair, they're still the 40 around, but I just did a shorter foot, so hopefully these will either go for Vubby or maybe our mom. I think those are all the finished objects that I haven't shown anywhere on our channel so far. I think. Hope so. Who's gonna know? But I do have a couple works in progress going as well. So this pair of socks I started when I was going to see, you might have seen these, you probably would have seen these on our like Hilton Head vlog, because I started these when I was going to the movies to see Jurassic World Rebirth with our dad. So I didn't have this with me, but I switched them over to this bag when I got home in very, very themed Jurassic Park bag. If, again, you've been following along, you know I love dinosaurs. The whole Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise is like my favorite. So loved that. So dad lent me some yarn that I could use because I needed just like plain vanilla knitting. I only had like the sock shoes with me when I was there. So I knit up one sock. So this was when I watched the movie and finished it when I got home, added in the heel, and then I went to see it again. I didn't love the movie. I'm going to be so honest about that. It was kind of disappointing for me, especially because I do love all of the Jurassic Parks and Jurassic Worlds. Yeah, I didn't love it, but I am an AMC A-list member, subscriber, person, and my colleague wanted to go watch it, so I was like, I'll go. Why not? I have 4 movies a week as part of my subscription, so I have the other sock in progress. I had just the cuff done when we went to the movie, so I was able to get all of this progress in. We went to see that last night, and I only have a little bit left to do the foot, and then I just need to do the toe and the heel. So this one should be cooking, moving right along. And I don't know the name of the yarn, I will say. Dad lost the tag. So mystery, beautiful green yarn, but felt very on brand. I also have my Erin Lane bags, little sheeple here, posing like Jeff Goldblum from the first Jurassic Park. And then it is sitting in a cozy from the shop. Not sure if this is actually in the shop, but this is my vegetable one. Reminds me of Fresh Choice. If you know, you know what Fresh Choice is. It's essentially like this awesome restaurant that we used to have nearby. And I think it was a chain, but I think they went out of business a long time ago, where it was like buffet style and you got to like pick it. I love Fresh Choice. We went with our grandma all the time to eat at Fresh Choice. So hoping these socks will be done this weekend. This is my only free weekend, I think, in July. So kind of excited to have some time to do that. And my other project that I have going on is probably my most exciting project that I've got right now. I guess my new era that I'm in. Gabs and I have both entered like new obsessions. Hers is probably better than mine, but I have entered what I think is like what the internet is calling the millennial midlife crisis, because I have fully embraced my Disney adult era. You can see the start of my ears here, but now they wrap all the way around. I think I shared a while ago, I now am a magic key holder, so I've been going all the time. Today is July 17th. It is actually the official 70th anniversary of Disneyland, so I was able to pop in and get some of the specialty items. I got a day of shirt, I got 2 stickers, a pin, and then I did cave and buy the 70th anniversary ears that I've been dying to have for a while. On this side of my space is actually where all of my Loungefly backpacks are now. Bear in mind, team, I've embraced this side of myself only over the past 2 months and have collected all of these different merch items. So expect a lot more Disney content from us. I think we're going to kind of expand who we are here and talk about the different things that we're into. So if you're interested in the Disney content, let us know, or let me know. And if you want to see kind of a tour of the ears that I have, the start of my, the jerseys, all the things that I have as well, and my bags, let me know. What I like about my Magic Key is I do get a discount, so that is helping with the cost of things. And then all of the backpacks that I've gotten, I've either gotten them on resale from Poshmark or on sale from a different vendor. So I'm not paying full price for those, I will say. I think only one of the ears I paid a full price for. Everything else I've gotten thrifting, actually, at the Disney thrift store down here in Anaheim, or using my Magic Key discount, things like that. Same with a lot of the merch that I have as well, just to be totally transparent about that. But let's be so honest, a lot of my finances are going to Disney right now. I love it. I have already gone enough times. I got my pass on May 20th. I have gone enough times to essentially pay off the pass, and so very exciting. They've dropped the dates for fall, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I love seasonal Disney. So I'm pretty excited. I do need a pair of Christmas ears. I do have a pair for Halloween. I just got a pair of Haunted Mansion ears, and I have a nice plain black that will match with anything, but I do need I need is a strong word. I desire a Halloween Loungefly to go with those outfits, because you have to fully match, right? You have to full send the outfit with the ears, with the bag. So that is something that I've been doing. So we're going to come back. There was a point to all of this. I have a project that I have been specifically bringing with me to Disneyland when I wait in lines. There's been a couple times where I've gone on my own, and it's been great to just knit in line. I've gotten a lot done, and I'm trying to use all of my Disney stuff when I go. And for folks that might be wondering, I know a lot of folks do talk about this, but I haven't ever had a problem bringing in my knitting. I don't bring my scissors. The only thing I literally bring is the yarn and the project live on the needles, and most of the cast members are super nice, what are you making? And they're just curious about what's going on. When I went this past weekend with my friend Michaela, we kind of started to tally how many people were staring at me and actually asked what they're doing. Most people are really kind of oh my gosh, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, you're knitting. What are you working on? What are you making? I'm so impressed that you're doing this. That's such a good idea. There was only one person who, I think what they were meant to say was different from how it came off. They're what are you doing? And I was knitting. And I think she meant to say, what are you making? She's well, I know. And I'm okay, well, that wasn't the question, but it's fine. So I don't think this is in the shop anymore, but this was one of the bags that we used to have. It's got all of kind of some of the classics and the older movie posters on there, but I am making a Disney muscle bra. I do have a subscription going right now with Fangirl Fibers. I will say I've dropped a lot of my yarn subscriptions, except for the ones that are fully paid off, or I've kind of committed to for 12 months to pay for said Disney adventures. But this one I have going on just for this year. It's called I've Never Met a Villain I Didn't Like, and it is all Disney villains, which I think is perfect because this will give me ample material to use for my knitting and lines. But this one villain, it was so funny. Like, I usually send the picture of the yarn to my sister and her husband so they can guess. My sister's husband grew up in Irvine, which is really close to where Disneyland is, and so he's got like Disney history. He also used to have a pass, so he's really good at guessing. But this one stumped all of us. This is the Madame Mim, or Madame Mim color. Madame Mim was the villain from Black Cauldron, but I really liked this color. I think it's my favorite one that we've gotten so far, so I decided to start a muscle burrow with it. And so this knitting progress has been technically like 2 half-day trips to Disney and 1 full day of progress. I did all of the increases before I left, but essentially from where this is so hard to see, but where this marker is to where I'm holding it, that's all the progress that I've made while waiting in lines, waiting for parades, whatever it is. And I'm trying to only work on this project when I'm actually in Disneyland, just to see like how much can actually get done. But I am kind of itching to finish it because there is so much progress done on it. And so I've got a little on the villain theme, because we haven't gotten her yet. I've got a little Cruella stitch marker on here. And so this has been a ton of fun to work on, and I'm gonna try, I think, and do a video where I do a full day at Disney and try and like count how many minutes I'm actually in line knitting, because like there is additional waiting time where I'm not actually knitting, but it's like right before I'm about to get on the ride, or like I've forgotten. Then like Michaela's like, aren't you supposed to be knitting? I'm like, oh, you're right. So I do want to kind of track that to see how much I can actually get done in line, and not doing anything like lightning lane, probably doing just like the regular like standby lines. And so these are my 2 projects that I've got going right now, and there are a lot of things that have been acquired in our time apart. So let's start with the yarn that I've gotten so far. Not that much, mostly because my birthday yarn from my uncle is still at my parents' house, and so it is not at my address. It does not count as in stash yet. But I got, I believe this was June's, maybe this was May's. This is that same subscription I was telling you about. This is the Disney villains. And this one is Lady Tremaine, who is basically the evil stepmother from Cinderella. Super fun. There's kind of a palette that we're noticing with all the different Disney villains. And so I do also really like this one. And then I have some gifts from my sister for my birthday. She themed it and kind of went with like, I think what everyone's kind of re-embracing is that 90s, early 2000s Y2K era. And so, hold on, we're going to crinkle. She themed it based on that. And so I got a really cool sweatshirt that has the Rugrats on it. Rugrats are pretty much one of my, if not my favorite cartoon shows from when I was a kiddo. And so she got me this Knit Picks static yarn called Rugrat. Just look how fun that is. Love it. This might also be fun for extra knitting as well, and maybe in lines. But I do have like 6 months of villains to get through. And then she also got me this one from Moose and Merino. It's a sock set, and it's called 90s Baby, which is me, born in 1996. So love it. Super pretty. This is very soft and squishy. And then while we were in Hilton Head, I don't know if I showed this on the vlog, but I'm showing it again. We went to, Low Country Shrimp and Knits, kind of just outside of Hilton Head, South Carolina, in Bluffton. And I got, this is from Spun Right Round. It is not out of South Carolina. I think it's actually it's out of Rochester, New York, but I liked it. So I wanted it. And it is called Double Trouble. And I love the bright colors on this. Could be really fun socks. Might even be a super fun hat. I haven't really bought myself yarn in a while, so pretty excited about this one. And then my next villains yarn came in, and it's this one. And so you've got some fun red coming through because it is the Evil Queen, who is the villain from Snow White. And so Now that I'm looking at this in the daylight, I am seeing more of the purple come through. But when I initially opened it, it was nighttime. And so I saw it as like blue. And I'm like, oh, it's Hades. It's not Hades. Evil Queen. And so I've acquired that. And then there are so many bags and things that my family and friends have actually wonderfully made for me that I just haven't kind of featured or highlighted. So I do, sorry, I'm totally off screen right now. So I do want to do that. The first being actually a gift from my friend Inger for my birthday. She kind of upcycles quilts and other really cool, like, sometimes thrifted, sometimes not. Sometimes she's purchased it fabrics, but she's got her own Etsy shop. So I encourage you to check her out. It's called Sew Inger, like sewing as in you're sewing. So it's SEW, and then Inger is her name, INGER. And she made me this amazing project bag out of an upcycled quilt. I love it. I think this is so cute, and I've got a quilted jacket from her, but this just feels extra special, because she's also gotten into knitting of recent. So I love that we share this. We've always been pretty crafty together. Okay, and now the rest of the things are all the cozies and the bags that I have requested from my family from the shop. Some of these are kind of oldish prints, so maybe we still have them. Maybe we do not. I apologize if we do not, but follow us on Instagram if you don't already, and definitely follow. You can also follow along. The shop. Gabs is on summer Gabs mode, so she's posting a lot of stuff. I think we only have 2 weeks left though of summer Gabs, so you might not get as many opportunities. So shop while you can. So some of my cozies that I've received in the meantime are this super fun Easter one. Got a little Nomi on there. This is a really fun one. You know I love food. So this is like a sushi and like gyoza, what is that? Egg rolls, some takeout, probably noodles on there. Love that one. Keeping in theme. This is now kind of like barbecue, burgers, perfect for summer. I do wish that it was a white background, but I understand why it needs to be the darker background for everything that's going on here. And then this is kind of what I think is maybe more of like a Valentine's, but that's okay. We can use it year round. Chocolate dipped strawberries, probably because I bought this fabric back then, and then all of us finally got around to it. And then this is a fun one. This just kind of feels like a birthday one where it's balloon animals. And I don't know about you, but I love balloon animals. I know it's not going to last. I know it probably costs like 10 cents to make. I still want them. I love these like balloon animal buddies. And then this last one is a Moana one, kind of based on Moana 2. And so it's got like Hey and Pua on there. So cute. Love it. So those are all my, nope, that's not even all my cozies. I also have this very fun, beautiful, very springtime, summer, a little bit of more of like a vintage floral. This one I love. So this is from, now I think we're getting into the fabrics that we purchased while we were doing our Palm Desert sister stash along sort of thing. This is like the pink one. Oh, I think this is the one Dad was talking about where he made the elastic too little, where I might have to return it for edits. But this is like the pink mood board. And you know I love pink, hence the pink craft room that I've got. So they made this one for me. And then this was the to die for, the mashed potatoes. And I did request that there be a big slab of butter somewhere on here, so you can see the butter right there to go with my fried chicken bag. I love this fabric. This is probably my most favorite fabric that we've gotten, and we've gotten a lot. And then we have the grungy vegetables. I think this is amazing. I love this print too. This is like a beautiful Hawaiian print. And then I've got this fun like bandana one. And then the big version of my pink mood board that we've got here. So amazing. That is what I got for you. Thank goodness. Now I feel up to date. I was feeling very overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that I had piling up in the like podcast section of the craft room, but now I feel like I can clean up and we're caught up, we can move forward, hopefully stay on top of things better, but we will see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.